There we go. Well, hello and welcome, folks, and thank you for being out here for another Thinking Outside the Bank as we really look at how we're going to gain access to credit without really having to use the bank.
That's right.
My name is Joseph Smith. This is my business partner here, Ray Fleming. We are the Wise Guys and Ties. Wise in ways of helping you gain access to the resources that you need to build and grow your business and your business credit. And so I always need to remember to hit the mute button.
There we go.
There, perfect. Okay, so let me go ahead and share with you my PowerPoint if I can. All right, so I click the share button there, and then we start the presentation there. And then I'm sharing the wrong screen, so gotta share screen 2. There we are. As I said, Wise Guys and Ties, right? There's our contact information on your screen right there. That's how you can get a hold of us if you are interested in any of the things that we have to talk about. Today, we're diving into really the sphere of direct funding. This is really for people who already have a business or you're wanting to start a business and you're looking for the funds that you need to really get going. So let's dive right on in. We're talking about, if I can get technology to work, we're talking about credit today. And Ray, if you could bring our folks up to speed on, they're looking at several things on their screen. What can you give us the context of what we're talking about today?
All right, so those are money bags. We like bags of money.
Yes.
We also like stacks of bills. There you go. No, but to the left there, character. What is character? Character really comes down to, think about if you know somebody that has a character flaw. What does that mean? Well, it may mean that you have a little uncertainty about them in different areas of life. Your business may be putting off some red flags in its character and you don't even realize that. And a lot of that goes down to the basic foundational structure of your business, because what is on paper is typically all that lenders have to go off of. So on paper, you could have some character issues, and that's usually not you being deceitful, but something's not lining up. Now, your capacity. This is, do you really have the capacity to take on debt? Do you have the capacity, the time in business to handle paying your bills? So as we look at different aspects of capacity, this really goes into, quite frankly, can you handle what they're about to give you?
Like a track record.
Track record, absolutely. So the more track record you have, the more accounts that you've opened, the more success you're going to have. Cash flow, self-explanatory, but it's, are you bringing money into your business? Do you have extra money after you pay all your expenses and your debts? Cash flow is a very powerful tool to use because, one, we all need it as business owners, right? But secondly, that's what lenders are going to feel. That's when they start to feel more comfortable about lending to you, because they know that you can pay your bills. Obviously, we're going to go over credit today. There you go. And then there's capital that we're not going to cover, or collateral that we're not going to cover today, but that's really
We
anything.
did that last week.
Yes, we did that last week. We're working from the bottom up. And so collateral, really anything that you could collateralize, anything of value, and this could be personal or business collateral.
And we call these the 5 C's of lending because every lender looks at these 5 C's.
Absolutely.
Now, some weight them different than others, meaning some might only care about your character and your credit. Right? Others might want to see all 5. On an SBA loan, they definitely want to see all 5, for
Definitely.
sure. But cash flow, credit, and collateral. Now, when we talk about credit, we're probably going to spend, I'm thinking, maybe a few weeks talking about credit, because there's so much here, because there's personal credit, there's business credit, but a lot of people don't realize that there's also banking credit.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're not really going to get too much into that today, but stay tuned for next week when we go over other avenues of credit. But credit is your relationship with your lenders, and it's really the credit that you have shows, again, your character, your capacity, right? It says a lot about you as a person. But if you're just starting a business, where can you get credit? It seems like everything asks for a personal guarantee, right? And we're going to talk about that. Today, we're going to cover personal credit, how to get access to personal consumer-based credit cards. Obviously, you have to have a personal guarantee, a credit check on that. But we're also going to be looking at how to personally guarantee a business. And then we're also going to look at how to get credit, corporate credit for your business without using a personal guarantee.
Nice.
Mr. Fleming's going to cover that one. I didn't even tell him he was going to cover that one, but he's covering that one today. Let's jump right on in. So we're talking about credit-based financing. So there are a few things here to take a look at. What we're talking about is unsecured business financing. Sometimes we talk about it as startup financing. I call it credit card stacking. But this is where we take, through a soft pull, we take your credit scores. What are they with TransUnion, Equifax? We want to look at Experian, all of them. And we're going to line you up with the lenders that are most likely to lend to you based off of your scores. And each lender has certain underwriting guidelines, unpublished, secret underwriting guidelines that our loan officers track. We track their approval trends. And then so what we do is when we do this process, whether you're doing this on the personal side or the business side, we line you up with the lenders that are most likely to lend to you on favorable terms. And so if you went out there to try and apply for personal credit, which we also call standard credit, or you went to apply for business credit, each place where you apply to is going to hit you with a hard inquiry. They're going to pull your credit. And so then the next bank or lender that you go to for credit is going to see that inquiry. And then so on. As each one you go down the list, they may or may not approve you. But by the time you get to the third or fourth lender and they see 3 or 4 or 5 different credit checks on your credit report, they're not going to approve you for any credit. Using the unsecured business financing method or credit card stacking, what we're able to do is electronically apply for all of these lines of credit at the same time. That's the power behind it. When you apply for credit all at the same time, what that means is for each lender that's looking at you, they're looking at you without seeing any other inquiries on your record. It's as if you're applying to them and them only. And what this does for us is this gives us the opportunity to qualify for anywhere from 5 to 8 individual credit cards at the maximum amount that they're willing to offer you. So what we're going to go over here are what are the underwriting guidelines? What are they looking for? Because what we want you to do is check yourself, see where you're at, and see if this is a situation that might fit for you. So when it comes to getting standard credit cards, they're looking for credit scores typically 650 or better. I've seen them do it as low as 620, getting approved for these credit cards. But when it comes to looking, that's standard consumer-based credit cards. But when we're looking at business credit cards, now if you're going to personally guarantee a business credit card, the standard starts going up. They're looking at a 680 credit score or better. But when we're applying for these credit cards, we're looking at what kind of perks do they offer? Is there cash back with that? Are there flight miles, right? Are there fuel points? What are the, we're going to try to create some synergy with what you do in your business and what you can get perks off of your credit card, as well as 0% interest for up to 18 months is what we see typically on these cards. So this whole method helps us to get more money. So let's talk about personal credit cards. All right. Oops, one too many. Personal credit cards. These are unsecured personal credit cards. We're looking, remember, you need a 650 credit score, but we're looking at approval amounts using the credit card stacking method between 10,000 to 150,000. And these approval amounts will equal whatever your highest current credit card is, multiply that by 5. So if you have a $5,000 credit card, then you're likely to get $25,000 through this program in credit cards.
Nice.
On the personal side.
Oh, on the personal side.
On the personal side. So what did we want to see? Well, on your business, when you're getting when they're looking at your consumer credit report, these are going to be 0% interest rates for anywhere from 6 to 18 months. And then after that, you're going to have a pretty normal rate. And it's going to be based off of whatever your financials are. what is your payment history, your utilization, what is your inquiries, your mix of accounts, your age of accounts. All of that combined is really going to determine what rate you get on the credit card. So as we keep looking at this, I got another slide here. I'm going to get through the information there. Okay, so whenever you use this credit card stacking method, there is a 10 to 12% success-based fee, because this is considered no doc financing. No doc meaning no documentation. Nobody's looking for you to verify your income. Nobody's looking for you, tax returns is what we're talking about, P&Ls. You're not having to provide that. So because of that extra risk, there is a certain fee that goes with that. So again, we talked about having a 650 credit score or better. When we look at that credit score and how it breaks down into those 5 issues we were talking about, your credit history, utilization, inquiries, age of accounts, mix of accounts. On your utilization, what they prefer to see is you're under 50%. In fact, I was just speaking with one of the brokers last week. They're really now saying we want to see it under 40%.
Oh,
so
okay.
Things are starting to tighten the screws down a little bit. They want to see less than 8 inquiries on your credit report in the past 6 months. Again, that's probably something that they want to see even lower than that. That was the minimum. So some of these screws are starting to tighten down. So I would say probably less than 6 inquiries in the past 6 months. But here's the great thing about this. This is an awesome way to get money fast, because you might apply for a credit card and maybe it'll be a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 card, but that same credit score that you used to get that card could have got you 25,000. That's what's powerful about that. And this is what you can use to help fuel and start up your business, or consolidate debt, or find some way to utilize a credit banking strategy to eliminate your debt fast. Okay, so let's compare and contrast that now. We were talking about personal credit, but now let's talk about business credit. So first of all, we were talking about you just going out and getting unsecured, consumer-based personal credit cards. Now we're talking about you providing a personal guarantee to get credit cards in your business's name. So first of all, you got to have a business, right? You got to flat out have a business. Otherwise, you can't guarantee a business out there. And we're not talking about a sole proprietorship. That doesn't count. This actually has to be an incorporated business, a LLC, an S Corp, C Corp. I mean, it could be a nonprofit. We're able to work with those as well, but you have to be an entity. So the approval amounts, again, same as before, 10,000 to up to 150,000. But the approvals are based off of anywhere from 5 to 8 times. See, before on the personal side, it was only up to 5 times. On the business side, it can go up to 8 times, whatever your highest current credit card number is. So if your highest credit card right now is a $10,000 limit, right? That's the limit on your card. You could get $80,000, up to $80,000 just on the unsecured business credit card side.
Nice.
That's exciting.
That's super exciting. That's a lot of capital.
Absolutely. And so, but here's another thing. When you get personal credit cards, they report to the consumer credit reporting agencies. When you personally guarantee business credit cards, they do not report to the consumer credit reporting agencies. These cards report to the business credit reporting agencies. Very important for helping you build, grow, and establish your payment history, your track record within business credit. So this is super powerful. This is going to come to you again in anywhere from 5 to 8 individual credit cards with an interest rate of 0% for up to 18 months. And then again, go back to normal rates, anywhere between 5 to 25%. It says 5 to 25%, but I know that has also gone up. It's anywhere from 9 to 29%. So see, they're tightening the screws.
There you go.
Right? So got to update some of these slides. So again, we're still talking about the unsecured business credit here. And I want to make sure that you guys completely understand that there's still the 10 to 12% success-based fee, because there is no doc. This is like one of the fastest ways. I mean, if you fill out the application And I think, I mean, and you've got to provide, you got to have a personal credit monitoring service, so you can provide them the access to your credit reports.
Mhm.
And then you also need to provide, I think, log into your bank. No, you don't have to give them a login to your bank account, but you have to provide them like the last 6 months of your bank records, right? So that's it. If you're able to do that and you have a 680 or better credit score, you're going to be golden. Now, utilization for this one, before we talked about it being under 40% on the personal side. For business, they want to see it under 30%. Now, here's a great thing. We have a lot of clients who are like, oh man, I calculated it and I'm just over. I'm at like 40%. Well, what's great is there are bridge loans, 30-day loans that our loan officers can help you find to give you a 30-day loan to bring your utilization to under 30% so you can qualify, especially if you're looking at your numbers and you're going to get 100,000 or 150,000 through this program, and a little bridge loan of maybe all you needed was 15, 20,000. Well, you're going to be able to, once you get your lines of credit, to easily pay that off. And then you still have, and you're going to pay that off with 0% credit cards that have cashback points and flight miles or fuel miles, whatever it is that you want. So there's a lot of great ways to take advantage of the opportunity to get access to this. And by bringing your credit utilization to under 30%, that's a huge boost to your credit score right there. Now, again, a lot of people, they want to find a way to get access to start their business, but they just don't have the money. One of the things that I also like to tell people is, and maybe this is on the next slide, but if you don't have that as a credit score, that's okay. In fact, yes, it is on this next one. Yes. Perfect. Because the last thing there on the bottom of your screen, guarantors are welcome, meaning if you don't have the 680 credit score or better, but mom or dad or uncle or brother or cousin does, right? Then they can basically like co-sign for you to get these credit cards. Here's why this is awesome, because there's a statistic out by the SBA that says that over 75% of all small businesses are funded through their family. They come in with family financing to start and build and grow their business. And your family, on average, would like to see you succeed. And so what do? They would love to give you the money that you need and let you borrow that, but sometimes they don't have that. Grandma would like to see you succeed, but she just doesn't have any money. She's on a fixed income, but her credit might be absolutely stellar. You know what I'm saying?
That's very true.
And so here's what's happening. Remember, this does not report on the consumer credit reporting agencies, what you use on this credit. So this isn't going to have that type of impact on their personal credit. Now, qualifying for the program would mean that you would pick up anywhere from 5 to 8 inquiries. But what is that? I mean, it's all based off of an algorithm, but that might be anywhere like 2 points per inquiry, maybe. So you're looking at anywhere from 10, a reduction in your credit score of 10 to maybe 16 points, maybe. But then those drop off after a year, so that credit score is going to bounce right back up. Now, the only thing that somebody who gives the personal guarantee has a concern about is if you default, if you go out of business and file bankruptcy, well, then all of that debt will then transfer to the personal side. So if you're going to do this and you're going to have somebody guarantee, you got to have a business model ready to go. You got to have your plan, your backup plan, and then your backup to the backup plan all ready to go, right? So we talk a lot also about what type of credit cards are out there. We talked about all these perks and the points, but there's also some special cards that we have out there called hybrids. They don't call them, I don't think they actually use the term hybrid, but we here use the term hybrid because there's a difference between a credit card and a line of credit. See, with a credit card, you can get 0% introductory rates with all those points and perks, all those wonderful things, and you can use it at a point of sale. With a line of credit, you don't get the great interest rates. You get a higher interest rate. I mean, some of them, if they're collateralized, can be as low as like 4%, but an unsecured line of credit, you're looking somewhere between maybe 9 to 12%. But the great thing about the line of credit is you can access all of the cash. See, on a credit card, you might have a $25,000 limit, but only be allowed to do a cash advance of $5,000.
Right.
Right. So on the line of credit, you could have a $25,000 line of credit and could pull all that cash out as you want at the interest rate. So when we talk about a hybrid, taking the best of a 0% introductory rate with points and perks and all that, and bringing the line of credit and bring these both together. So imagine having a credit card at a 0% introductory rate with the ability to pull the cash out at the full value of the line of credit at 0% interest. That's what we mean by hybrid. It is very powerful. Now, people who apply for these programs who have come through us, they might have found that, oh, I have a negative here. I got to go take care of this little ding on my credit or something like that. If you can go and resolve it really quick, we have what's called rapid rescoring. We can, as soon as you've made that fix, we can actually reassess you for the program. Versus there are many banks out there, you go and apply and you get denied, you have to wait 30 or 60, sometimes 90 days before you can go back and reapply for their program. So our rapid rescoring allows you, if they find an issue with your credit and you can fix it and you do fix it, they can go back immediately after you fix it, rescore you, qualify you for the program, and get you funded. So, man, and I already talked about.
Most people don't even realize that's even possible.
I know. And we already talked about the bridge loans to pay down balances so that you can get under the 30%. So many great things here. And just to see if you even qualify, we do soft pulls. So it's not even anything that shows up on your credit, just to see if you qualify. But this is truly changing. This is a game changer for most people. I mean, especially as a startup. Because if you're starting up and you're looking, oh, no one's going to fund you for the next 2 or 3 years until you've established yourself. Well, you could use this unsecured business credit cards with a personal guarantee and get up to $150,000 for your business. This is powerful. Now, corporate credit, just like the business credit that we were just talking about, with the personal guarantees, here's the only thing. With corporate credit, this is credit that you can apply for without a personal guarantee. So when your business has a strong credit profile, track record of paying all of its bills on time for at least 6 to 12 months, and you're having 14 accounts, and you have multiple payment experiences across these. So we're not just talking about 14 accounts that all reported to Dun & Bradstreet. We're talking about payment experiences through Dun & Bradstreet, business experience, business Equifax, and we're seeing multiple every month. We're seeing all of these transactions after transactions of purchasing product, getting invoice, paying the invoice, and then again and again every month. Starting with these net 30 vendor accounts, moving up to revolving store cards, gas cards. And then this is where we get to, once you've developed 14 of those accounts, being able to go out and get corporate credit card accounts that do not require a personal guarantee or consumer credit check. This means that your approvals are going to be based only on the strength of your business, the credit that's reported on your EIN number, and being able to go out and get up to $150,000 in lines of credit for your business and more. We have clients that have gotten up to $800,000 in lines of credit just because they built their business credit, and then they continue to go out and they keep applying for more and more credit.
So like one of those things, it's like farming. You can literally continue to grow the crop.
Right. And like when like a single kernel of wheat dies, it can germinate into a crop that makes 30, 60, 100 fold. That's what you had before. Well, Ray, why don't you talk about, what if you have no credit, you don't have anybody who can give
no
you...
No cosigners,
no?
Terrible credit.
Yeah. What options do they have?
Well, so the great thing about that situation is it doesn't matter what happened on the personal side, whether you are a good steward of what you're given, or you're like many folks who are never actually learned about how to manage their personal credit. Business credit is the catch-all. regardless of where you are personally, you can build business credit without necessarily cash flow, without personal credit, without collateral requirements. And so this is credit that only reports to business credit reporting agencies. And the utilization doesn't affect your personal credit score like normal personal credit does. Business credit, it really allows you to grow these large lines of credit separately from you as an individual. Now, of course, you do have to have some type of business structure set up to do this, but if your business can show that it has a track record, your business can get approved for loans, the amount of loans is going to be greater, the interest rates are going to be lower, and that's all it really comes down to is when you grow business credit, when you have a business that is credible, you're going to receive better rates, better terms, and you're actually going to be able to receive the funding that you're looking for. And this could be done in as quickly as 6 to 12 months. Accessing 50,000, we've had folks even access as much as 150,000, and that's really with no business collateral or cash flow. When you put in the business collateral and cash flow, now you're really working with the power that lenders are looking for.
I agree.
So really, I mean, we offer a free funding assessment. Now, so all you have to do is contact us, 888-524-9273. And what we will do is we'll put you through our business blueprint. We'll see what you actually qualify for right now. We'll have you pull your personal credit. If you want to look at what you could do with your personal credit, pull a report. And that way we don't make an inquiry to your report. Let's look at your business profile. Let's look at hey, you don't even have a business? Let's talk about how you could start a business and get it funded. Start it the right way so you don't have to go back and fix anything. Because people don't understand that necessarily, that we will start with you if you don't even have a name. Let's figure out the name. Let's figure out how to file it. Let's figure out your address and your email. If you already have all that set up, great. Let's go back and review it, make sure we don't have to correct anything. Now, the great thing with this is when you go through the funding blueprint, there's no upfront charge to that. Really, we will do the groundwork. We'll look at all the options and see if there's any funding out there. And we talk about it all the time. You know, we work with a loan broker. So that's how they actually get paid, is when they find you the funds. So their goal is to be able to find you money so that they can make some money. If we don't find you any money, then let's take the next approach and look at how we can build your business credit systematically, strategically with our team so you can get that done in the next 6 to 12 months.
Perfect. Well, what would you say to somebody who's been watching us for a while and they're thinking, oh man, I'm just kind of on the fence. I want to, I'm not sure. I mean, looking what's going on in the economy. I don't know if it's the right time right now.
I've been there. That's what I would say is I've been there. I totally understand and I totally agree, because I felt the exact same way that you have felt. But then what I realized is a lot of that had to do with fear. I was looking at the situation, but then I realized if I did not do it now, I was going to have to do it eventually. But as time goes on, it's going to end up costing me more money. That's all this time that I could be building. And, you know, when I first looked at business credit, I said, you know, I'm going to worry about this more in 6 months when I get a better handle on stuff. Guess what happened in 6 months? I was worse off than I was, because I hadn't had access to the capital, and there was deals coming up, there was opportunities, and I just didn't have the access.
Well, what did you find when you actually pulled the trigger and said, I am going to do business credit?
Well, I found out it's a game changer. It's life changing. And that's why we come to you each and every week. I mean, we're coming to you guys multiple times a week now, because this is life changing. And that's what our business is about, is helping you achieve your God-given purpose so you can be a blessing to others.
Amen to that.
Amen to that.
All right, folks. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us and being with us here as we really try to think outside the bank. Folks, don't put this off anymore. You know what you need to do, and you know that there are resources out there to help you do it. Take advantage of all the opportunities that are in front of you, and don't let them pass you by, because you never know when the next opportunity will come up. Again, on behalf of myself, Joseph Smith, this is Ray Fleming. We want to say good night
And
God bless. Make sure you tune in tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Credit Banking Mastermind number 24. It's going to be awesome. We'll see you there.